Hello.
Hello, Dan. I don't think we can hear you. Let's
No, you.
unmute your microphone. There we are. Try that again.
Hello.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Good evening, everybody. How are we doing? How are we doing, Carl? How are we doing, Dan?
Very well, thank you.
I'm doing
Apologies.
absolutely fan-dabby-dozy.
Apologies for James this week. He's feeling a bit under the weather, so I'm afraid he's had to bow out this week. We hope he feels better soon.
Absolutely.
Good evening, Gary. Good evening, Vicky.
Good evening, Vicky.
Good evening, Gary.
Gary again on multiple platforms.
Oh, are they different? The same
Yeah,
person? Okay.
The original Gary is on YouTube.
Right.
Secondary Gary is on Facebook.
Okay. I prefer secondary Gary. Yeah.
More emojis.
Well, 7 and 9. What hone of dim? How you doing, buddy?
Oh, nice hat, Nadim.
Yeah, nice. Hey, Adam, how you doing? I saw a picture of you today, Adam, in the Sci-Fi Ball shop. You're looking very dapper, my friend. Looking very good. And the same with you, Mark. For a picture of you in the Sci-Fi Ball shop,
yeah.
You look extremely dapper.
Oh, bonsoir,
Hey.
Monsieur Window.
What ho, Alan? And what ho, Christoph? Wow, well, it's been 2 weeks, chaps. I mean, has there been anything Star Trek to talk about?
Then track.
Oh yes, there is one thing actually. There's a program coming out called Discovery. Apparently, we're all really excited for it.
So season we've got. I know we've got. So kind of. Do we want to do a news? Let's do the news thing. We've got one for that.
Oh, do we have a news sting these days?
Yeah, we've got the fake one.
Oh yeah.
But we've got a real news one.
Well. Wow, production value's certainly gone up since my last appearance.
Now, this is we'll kick us off with the Academy news because I don't know about you guys, but this is what I've been waiting. Like when the last episode of TNG. Well, no, to be fair, in the last episode of TNG, DS9, and Voyager, when all of them finished, what I really wanted was Starfleet, because this is back when like Buffy was really popular. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you kind of really wanted a Starfleet Academy series, and I always kind of imagined it would be very much in the vein of kind of like almost like a Buffy. You'd mix in a bit of teen drama, but you know you'd still get your killings in every week. And I wanted so much for Riker to be the commandant of the Academy, and not like Commandant Lassard. Okay. Like,
oh no, I literally just had my cartoon brain working there with that.
Not like Commandant Lassard. I mean, that would be brilliant. But
so you'd have Riker, and his sidekick would have to be Barclay.
Yeah.
Because then it'd be like Harrison Proctor.
Move it. Are you being rude?
Riker with a podium. Oh, now that'd be one hell of a Riker maneuver, that, wouldn't
it? Many podiums.
Evening, Sarah.
So that's fantastic news. I believe we have release dates for Discovery now. I know we've got a release date for Strange New Worlds. That's June, I believe.
June and Lower Decks as well is the release date.
Yeah, there's other Trek for people that like that. And yes, Discovery, I believe, has a release date for its final season, which it's
I've got a couple of thoughts with the. I was thinking this. You know, when the Starfleet Academy news was announced earlier in the week, and we, in our little chat group, we were all throwing in our 2 pennies worth of, oh, I hope it takes place in this era, and I hope it takes place in that era. One crossed my mind that none of us put in there, and I thought, oh, actually, there's a possibility of a crossover episode here. If they happen to coincide the timelines with Strange New Worlds, well, isn't Pike's accident with a load of cadets?
Do you know, I hadn't even considered the possibility that it wouldn't be post-Golden Era. But you're right, they could take it way back to Enterprise. Oh my God. They could do it in the future, in the Discovery future.
Well, Tilly is meant to be head of the Academy these days.
There's a lot of possibilities that could work. So
that wouldn't work. I'm telling you now, CBS, that would not work.
Listen very carefully. He will say this only once.
Go on, Richard. Tell us how you really feel.
Hang on a minute. Was this Academy? That's not right, is it? That's not an April Fool's joke. The news came out before April Fool's Day, didn't it?
It did come out before April Fool's Day.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah,
I
no,
think that's just Christoph trying to scare us.
No, they wouldn't set it in the Discovery timeline. They wouldn't. So we've got that news. Sadly, the Star Trek theme park that was supposed to be opening up down our way in the southeast of England, that's Carbosh, the company that were doing that. They've sent in the bailiffs, so that's not happening now, which is a bit of a shame because we're all looking forward to that. Although, if the hotel prices are anything like the Star Wars hotel prices, then that's not such a bad thing.
May as well go on the cruise.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah.
I mean, it's haven't they said that then they're restructuring that for financial reasons? Apparently, it's still going to go ahead, allegedly.
No, it's not going to happen. Not until I build my Star Trek hotel. Which reminds me, I've not bought. What's the Euro Millions at?
Maybe we should get a Kickstarter going, and we can build the Star Trek hotel.
Well, I've often thought, you have escape rooms,
right?
Or wouldn't it be brilliant if you could build the interior of a Daniel class runabout, and you'd lock someone in it for 24 hours, and things would happen. The system would, the ship would malfunction. You'd have to figure that out. You might get attacked, by Klingons or whatever, and you've got to figure out how to evade them, and have it as a kind of an experience stay over, like an Airbnb with a difference. And you could even have people remember in The Simpsons where they go out for the romantic dinner on the plane, and they've got the people shoving the things to make the planes. You can have that. You can have it on hydraulics or whatever. It could be really good. You could have a proper Star Trek escape room / hotel. I think that'd be brilliant. Again, I've not bought my Euro Millions ticket, but
wow. I mean, it's certainly an idea. You could also do wilderness ones. Do you remember the episode of DS9 where Quark and Odo crash?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a brilliant one.
It's a good one.
Yeah. You could do wilderness adventures where essentially you are, oh no, your runabout has crashed here. You need to get to here, and this is all you have to survive on. Goodbye, people. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
effectively, what you're talking about is making a modern day holodeck just without the holodeck.
Well, yes.
And we would hunt them with paintballs, presumably.
Like Hirogen. Their skulls would soon decorate my walls.
Well, you have got a little bit of space up there still, so there's a couple of trophies to be had.
Oh, that reminds me, and I've completely forgotten. So I've got a wall. I wanted to get a picture of this because I want some viewers' help. Hang on, let me see if I can turn my webcam around so you can see. Hang on. This could all go wrong. Right, okay, I've got quite a big wall here. Okay. Now behind it, it's quite dull, and it's been like that for about a year now. I've been trying to think what to do, and I found a company that do photo wallpaper. So you can give them any kind of image, and they'll turn it into wallpaper that you can have on your room. And I thought, wow, well, the possibilities are now literally endless. So what I'll do is I'll have a porthole from the Enterprise D, possibly with a Klingon bird of prey out in the background. That'd be cool. And then I thought, it's not cheap, but it's going to be on the wall. So I need to think about this. Do I do that? Do I do like a nice big montage? Do I just have a lovely one of the Enterprise E? Or possibly the Riker's beard ship. That's an E class. So yeah, similar thing like the big wall stickers. The similar thing. Entrance to a holodeck arch. It's a nice bit too orange for me. I'm not Uncle Roger.
Surely
I'm liking the engagement here, though. More comments and suggestions on that one, guys. Like Richard said, the possibilities are endless.
I don't want to be too hasty. So
you could have Tad Blassu's office with the Believe sign.
I've got another idea for that.
Do we think that Richard would be willing to take the risk and allow our viewing audience to decide the picture that should go on his office wall?
Oh, no. Yes.
If you guys will pay for it, then yes. Now, aside from...
Well, there's another Kickstarter that we need to get going now.
So aside from that news and the front news, we've got... could everyone watching, by the way, if you're enjoying the show, and even if you're not, could you please hit that like emoji or the heart emoji for us, please? It'd be wonderful. Goodness me, we've got a lot of unpacking to do about Picard. So, do we want to get the spoilers in now, or?
Oh, do I have to press a button for that? Where's there? Hang on, there we go. Was that the right one? Yeah.
That'll do. If you haven't seen Picard yet, why are you watching this? Go and catch up with... I've been so busy this week. It's been unbelievable. Ask me why I've been busy, guys.
Why have you been busy, Richard?
Well, I'm rehearsing for a gig. I'm playing this Friday at 5 o'clock at the Shivering Sands Brewery and Tap Room in Manston with my good friends Bo and Dee Dee. You can hear me play covers of bands such as the Shrilels, the Foo Fighters, Chris Isaac, and more. And the beer there's absolutely lovely. So please do come down if you'd like to come and see my little band play.
Are we allowed to put in requests for your band to play?
Absolutely, yeah.
Can we have Faith of the Heart, please?
You can request it.
Yes, please bear in mind, as I often tell my team when they put holiday requests in, please look up the definition of request. I'm sure you're familiar with it, Dan, with the amount of late night music entertainment that you provide.
Yes, indeed.
The true definition of request.
There's a difference between request and demand. If you don't know it, well, choose me.
Oh my goodness! The last 2 episodes of Picard, we've got a lot of unpacking to do. We've got a lot of unpacking to do. I mean, where do we start? Where do we even start?
How about Daystrom?
No, in fact, I'm going to change that from Daystrom to this before we go into the meat of it. Which of the 2 episodes, 6 or 7, did you prefer?
6 with Daystrom, obviously, because I'm not insane.
I loved the nostalgia of 6, but I think 7 asks some rather leading questions of some of the characters.
I thought...
No, go on.
I thought 6 was a great episode, and 7 was filler. And we had the same last season in Picard. Do you remember there was an episode in Picard season 2 where I said to you guys, this just feels like a filler episode about episode 7?
Yep.
7 was good. It did. I know what you mean. It felt a little stretched, if you know what I mean. It definitely felt like when you rely on Gates McFadden to fill that much dialogue,
I think
she's,
that's the.
she's the Hussein Bolt of trying to act badly in this series. I mean, she's not doing well. In fairness to her, though, I mean, she's in there with some real class actors, so it ain't easy. It ain't easy.
I mean, I'm really enjoying the guy that's playing Picard's son, Jack. I think he's doing really well.
I'm warming to him a lot. I think he's a very good actor. And
Yeah,
I think
I wasn't too sure on the character at first, but I am starting to get intrigued by him now.
And LeVar Burton's daughter, isn't she good?
Yes,
She's really good. Yeah,
And that is actually LeVar Burton's daughter playing George's
Yes.
daughter.
yeah, she's really good. It's not a case of she got it just because it's a daughter. She's really good actress. Yeah.
right. Now
Mm.
there's a comment come in here. Okay, I've seen a lot of stuff online. People seem to have a lot of problems with this Fleet Museum.
No. You've read that wrong. I'll read it out for you. The
Oh,
Fleet
he's missed the
Museum
H, hasn't he? He's missed the H at the start.
is what he meant.
Right, sorry, I'm just misreading.
Yeah.
It's a bit like when you get a text message and you don't know the context, so you read it in your head in the wrong tone, don't you? That's what's
Luckily,
happened there. Sorry,
Richard and I are on
my
the same
mistake.
wavelengths. He actually owns.
What he actually meant, like you say, was the Fleet Museum.
Exactly.
Right,
that.
now I get it. Thank you for
Yeah.
the correction.
He owns a piece of me, or rather, my freighter. I'm rewatching Voyager at the moment with my kids. We've had the first episode with the Malons, and I mean but you forget how badass they are. I mean, it's a freighter, and it absolutely beats the living bonkers out of Voyager, and it's a massive
Yeah.
ship. I mean, they should have done an XL edition, I think. Eagle Mask.
An XL Gold edition. Ooh,
But yeah,
that would have been a thing.
Let's not forget that it is essentially just a bin lorry in space. You know.
Yeah.
The whole premise of the Malons is, let's not forget, fly tipping is bad. That was what this episode was also trying to tell us. You know, same thing that the local council have been saying for many years.
yeah. But yes, the Fleet Museum.
Does seem to have been a bone of contention.
Really? From who?
Yeah, I've seen so many things online, people being like, and I think as well.
You've been in those Discovery chat rooms again, haven't you?
I just can't resist. No, it's the ironic thing is it's people moaning about the detail that haven't paid attention to the detail. There's so many people in there going, "Oh well, how can that be Kirk's original Enterprise? It was blown up." Well, it wasn't Kirk's original Enterprise that was at the museum. Silly things like that. Why didn't they steal the cloak off the Defiant? Well, it's not the original Defiant. It was the Sao Paulo, and you know bits like that. And
I mean, it was a wonderful walk, I have to admit.
it was amazing for nostalgia. Just
I very
enjoy it for
nearly,
what it is.
when Seven brought up Voyager, I very nearly had an emotion.
Whoa,
Yeah, I was
a real one.
Yeah, real one.
Good grief.
I very nearly had emotion, and I was watching because I'm rewatching Voyager with my kids, and I'm also watching Picard with my kids. They love it, and both of them proper cheered, like really
Hey.
cheered. Yeah, it was great. It was lovely. It was absolutely fantastic. Yeah.
So in the Fleet Museum, what was the? So obviously for Richard, I think it's fairly self-explanatory that he enjoyed seeing Voyager the most there. What was your favourite?
I'll give you a
thing?
clue, Linda. It's not the North.
What was the favourite one for you to see in the Fleet Museum, Dan?
There was quite a few that sort of made me sort of smile. I was just a little bit disappointed that there had been a bit of build-up. Was it last season? Yeah, it must have been last season. That the Enterprise D saucer had been salvaged. I would have liked to have seen that.
You'd like to see the D.
Yeah, no.
The D saucer.
Yeah, but there was lots of good views. I mean, the Voyager looked amazing.
Yeah. I've got to admit, I actually really enjoyed the fact that the bird of prey that was sat there was the Bounty.
I think that was wonderful, and the fact that they even managed to get in there, they salvaged it from the bottom of the ocean, was fantastic. Just to geek out a bit on the D and why I think we didn't see it, I think they're trying to do all of them justice in glorious 4K, and we've already seen the Enterprise D tarted up on our screen. So
Yeah.
I think that's why they didn't throw that in there somehow, Dan. Sorry.
Possibly.
That's probably why they didn't do. But yeah.
Was there any ships that you would have liked to have seen in the Fleet Museum that maybe weren't?
Mailon Freighter.
I knew it. I knew you were going to say that.
But then it's about the size of the Daystrom Institute. So, and can we just quickly have a moment of applause for me? I'm 2 for 2. I called Worf being Raffi's handler, and I called Moriarty being the security program for Daystrom, and I called them each a couple of weeks before we even found out. So I'm 2 for 2, and I'm saying it now. Species 8472 are behind this.
You think?
Species. I've been saying that for 3 weeks now. Species 8472.
Oh, hang on. Here we go. Christoph,
I'll tell
so
you for why.
prediction. The actual solution of Picard will be similar to how DS9 ended the Dominion War.
Oh no, it won't be shit.
My suspicion is, as much as they've included them in seasons 1 and 2, my suspicion is the Borg.
Well, my suspicion was 8472. And did you clock the little nugget that they glossed over very quickly in the last filler episode? And that was the chemical composition of the mutated changelings.
I've only seen that episode the once, and I was half asleep.
Chemical composition 847. It stands to reason that they're making improved changelings. 8472 had the best changelings. Theirs were just superb. They've obviously got hold of some of because they had the DNA from Voyager when the Doctor had the one he did the autopsy on. They've got hold of that DNA. They've hybridized it with the changelings. They've got insane telepathic capabilities, which explains all Jack's powers. 8472.
See, I think the whole thing with Jack, I think that's somehow related to the Borg.
I think he's being controlled by 8472.
I'm going to put mine out there that it is, as we know, it's Dominion and Changelings. I'm going to go for a Par Wraith because the eyes were very similar to when
that's a good shout.
the eyes. And it would allow for that fact that in the first season we saw Picard with the tablet of.
Oh, that was the trailer for season 2, wasn't it? With the the broken tablet from DS9.
That was season 2. Yeah.
And it would never come back on.
But surely that would have been in the alternate reality for season 2. Christoph's agreeing with Richard, though.
They've crossbred 8472 with Dominion changelings, and they've got now a world of shit they've got to deal with, is what I reckon.
Oh, we've got 3 hours to sort it, so.
I think, because there were certain things in the last couple of episodes that were just making me wonder whether it was something to do with Picard's time as Locutus and somehow the Borg are wanting to get hold of Jack to replace the Queen, because obviously the Queen is long gone after season 2. All right, Jurati was helping with certain Borg, but I don't think that was the main collective. I think they're still sort of like wandering a bit aimlessly with no one, and so they want Locutus' son to go and lead the Hive.
I do like it, but I kind of think they've done the Borg in season 2. You know what I mean? I think they've done.
But they had them in season 1 as well. I've just got this horrible feeling that they're going to flog it for a 3rd season, and it's the thing in the background. I think there's somehow the way that they've integrated parts of Voyager in and DS9 in and TNG all in the same series. I've just got this feeling they're just going to try and amalgamate all the big baddies somehow, and
the
kind of bring
Squire
it
of
all
Gothos
to a collective end.
The Squire of Gothos. I think it could be him. I think it could be the Squire.
Well, I have a bit of a there's something I was disappointed in the last episode. Now there was a point very early on where Geordi says, "I'm running out of places to hide us," and he'd taken them to a dismantling yard. Think how much better that scene would have played if it had been that they'd had to hide at Wolf 359. Can you imagine the drama from the captain? You know,
I would imagine by that point they've kind of cleaned it all up, though.
I would have thought, Starfleet would probably clean that up. salvage
No,
it.
you could just imagine it, can't you? Picard, this was your fault. Yeah.
Yeah.
What
But
about it?
I think there's definitely potentially paths being laid for a very, very quick, brief cameo by Mr. Brooks.
I hope so. I mean,
I really hope so.
If this truly is Patrick Stewart's last hurrah, which I think we're fairly certain it will be.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be wonderful for him to have such a send off. You know, to get as many of them in there as possible, because let's face it. You know, when Star Trek relaunched, I just don't think it would have worked without Patrick Stewart. I don't think TNG wouldn't have gone on for 7 seasons, and you wouldn't have had Voyager, and you wouldn't have had DS9, and you wouldn't have had anything that followed if Patrick Stewart hadn't led the Next Generation, because he was that good. So if this is to be his last hurrah, to give him a send-off with as many as they possibly can, would just be wonderful, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
As many as they can squeeze in there. I don't even care if it makes sense. You know, just get as many of them in there as you can. Be lovely.
This season's, I mean, it's so far the storyline. I'm enjoying, but it genuinely it's a massive fanboy nostalgia series.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? All praise to him for doing it.
Yeah.
Whether people think it's deep enough and you can analyze it enough or whatever, just enjoy it for what it is. It's great.
The whole season reminds me of the Trials and Tribulations DS9 episode. I mean, it's just fan service, and we love it because it's fan service.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'd just be great, be really good. That'd be brilliant, Nadim. What a great idea!
Awesome.
Wouldn't it though? Wouldn't that just be brilliant? Uh-oh.
Hell yeah!
Someone unplugged that noise bang. Yeah. Yes. Oh boy.
Cross universes. Hell yeah. But yeah, I mean, you can see that they're already paving the way for a potential Janeway cameo. Should have been mentioned multiple times. There's
I'm
the option there to bring
a hard drive to be bizarrely delivered. I thought it was coming tomorrow, but my phone's just told me it's coming today at some point soon. So.
Yeah, there's the potential for Cisco cameo. There's potentially all sorts of cameos in this. I mean, crikey, we've even seen Ensign Rowe. Who'd have thought it?
I mean, obviously as many as possible. I mean that as many as possible. I would love to see. I'd love to see Ensign Kim. I'd love to see him in an ensign. That'd be brilliant.
Yeah. Oh, he's got to be. If they do that cameo, he can't be anything but.
Oh, it'd be brilliant.
No. If he comes in, he does something stupid and he gets demoted back to ensign.
Yeah. Also, it'd be lovely.
Finally, he's a lieutenant. No, sorry, you accidentally just killed someone that you shouldn't have done. You're now an ensign again.
So you chaps will be able to or someone in the audience will tell me better. Am I right in saying that some of the Star Trek books are canon and some aren't, and the Picard books are?
So, and my understanding is that anything from the launch of Discovery in 2017 onwards is classed as canon.
Okay, because
all the Discovery books, Picard books, they're all
because the Janeway novel autobiography, which is I highly recommend it.
It's brilliant.
It's on Audible, read by Kate Mulgrew. I thought it was going to be hard work. Probably one of my favorite. In fact, it is my Star Trek favorite Star Trek novel.
I listened to it based on your review. It's outstanding.
Really, really good. And in that, Tom and B'Elanna still together, obviously. But Tom's actually surprisingly given up as a pilot and is writing holo novels. Yes. But B'Elanna's still in Starfleet. Oh, no, hang on a minute. We've had Tom Paris in Lower Decks, haven't we?
We have.
Yeah, he wasn't a holo novelist in that, so maybe that's not.
No, but that wasn't that far into the future, was it?
I'm not sure.
Lower Decks isn't very far past TNG Voyager era.
So when is Janeway's biography supposed to be cut off?
I would imagine, because Lower Decks is set, I think, between TNG and Picard. Because Riker's still captain of the original Titan in Lower Decks, isn't he?
Yes, he is. So it must be before. Yeah, you're right.
So it's got to
Yeah.
be between TNG
Yeah.
and
So
Picard.
yeah,
that they'll announce that.
But yeah. So he's writing holonovels, and B'Elanna's still working as an engineer for Starfleet, doing.
Good call, Martin. In fact, Tom Paris should get in touch with O'Brien and Bashir to help write some of his holo novels.
Well, do you remember my earlier prediction a couple of weeks ago? Carl, you weren't here. The red markings on the faces and the red things that we're seeing was the quickening, which was a changeling weapon. Well, that
was one of the few shows I was here for. I do remember that. Yeah.
Well, that was, of course, cured by Dr. Bashir. So there's a lead in if you wanted to get Alexander Siddig in.
He's a very underrated. I mean, it's difficult when he comes to Star Trek because there are so many good actors, and we're spoiled. But there's some that I just feel never get quite the recognition and the breakthrough. I've seen Alexander Siddig in some really bad stuff and some really good stuff, but everything he's in, he nails it. He's a proper, it's like Jeff Coombs. There's some actors that are just, they're all great. Some are just a cut above, and Bashir, Alexander Siddig's one of them for me. I think he's absolutely fantastic. Easy to see why he was originally cast as the captain in DS9, because he is that good.
Wow, yeah. Well, there isn't a lot of time left. Like I said, we've only got 3 episodes left now, haven't we? 8, 9, 10.
I think it's going to be 3 very heavily packed in episodes.
Which leads to me saying that 7 was a little bit of a filler episode.
Do you think anything might be feature length?
Possibly the last one.
Not according to
IMDb.
Yeah.
Shame. Missed opportunity, that, if not.
We've lost Sir Richard.
Has departed. But I definitely agree with Martin there. To see Bashir and O'Brien, I think the shame of that one is O'Brien, not O'Brien, Colmeany has said on several occasions they could not pay him enough to put that uniform back on.
Yeah, but
then there's a lot of the Trek actors have said that, and funnily enough, the last couple of years, they've put the uniforms back on. It's almost as if they've softened in their old age.
I wondered if Colmeany would do voice acting, something like on Lower Decks.
See, another option that's not been explored for this season so far is obviously Wesley Crusher.
Yeah.
You say that, and a lot of people will be like, no, I don't want that to happen. But he was there at the end of last season. He's blatantly knocking around the universe.
I think Will Wheaton's involvement in this season at some point is inevitable.
I genuinely would like to think that most of the medium to major characters at some point could potentially make an appearance in these next 3 episodes. That's just the way the season feels, that literally at any moment they could drop someone in, if only for 5 minutes.
Right then, so let's go with saying it now on the stream. How do we think Picard will end?
I think. Sorry, Carl. After you, in case yours is better than mine.
No, that wasn't me about to speak. That was me actually trying to think.
All right, I'll tell you mine. That gives you 2 times to have a think, because I thought about this today.
Okay.
I think there will be some sort of ultimate sacrifice where Picard will. It will be like when Data sacrificed himself to save Picard, and something like that. And this is how Sir Patrick will go out. It will be some heroic thing that results in the saving of the ship, the crew. Data.
So you're thinking Blaze of Glory type thing?
Oh, absolutely.
So, I think. Do you remember? Shinzon required a complete DNA transplant to solve his.
Mm-hmm.
What was wrong with him now?
It was because he was a clone, wasn't it? So basically, it's speeded up lifespan.
So I think that's going to be tied into why they've stolen his body. I think there's going to be something to do with that and Jack needing the body for that, because they need Jack alive and they need his body to do similar thing there. I think, yeah, I agree with that. I think genuinely, I'd like to see him die. I would like to see him killed off in this season, because we were at the Netflix premiere, and for season 1, this was.
I was in Prime.
And Patrick Stewart was brilliant, but he just seemed like he wasn't enjoying it. He found it difficult being on the stage. He was forgetting co-stars' names, things like that. I think we need to bow him out now. So I hope they do finish him off in this season.
Well, what Vicky's just said there about she can't see Picard surviving the series and that he's going to sacrifice himself for his son. I'm going to go with the prediction of linking into what I said earlier about the Borg wanting Jack. I think that that's going to be the case. And to bow him out, Picard is going to make the hardest decision ever and turn around and say, well, to save my son, I will be Locutus.
Oh, and he'll just
And
fly
lead
off.
the collective.
He'll just fly off in a cube and be gone.
Potentially, yeah. How bad a decision would that be for him after all the turmoil, all the coming to terms with it, to actually then turn around and go voluntarily, I will do this to save my son?
Or would he be faced with the Kirk David choice? Will he get to choose save his son or his crew?
So, Alan, you should probably decline to do anything for the BBC. But if you insist upon it, what you should get into the start. And I always say this to people when I talk about Star Trek, like your takeaway. It's an ongoing joke, me and my mates. If there's not a Star Trek in it, a spaceship, a dinosaur, or a ninja, I'm not interested. But when I say to people,
This show's had pretty much all of those.
Yeah, the thing you take away from Star Trek is the positivity, and it's the wholesomeness of it. It's the wonderful. It's the fact it's showing you, for the most part, a better way that humans aspire to be. So yeah, make sure if you're going to get into something into the thing, don't go, oh yeah, we'll dress up and run around and shoot, pretend to fight each other. We'll sit down and have a pint and we help each other through stuff. We do everything the Riker's Beard doing, and you guys, we'll do it for charity. It's about positivity. That's what the fan base is about. So if you're going to get something into there, then get that into there, mate.
Actually, ignore all of that. What you want to get into there is that Let's Talk Trek is every single Sunday.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And also, I'm playing the Shivering Sands this Friday from 5 o'clock onwards.
And if you can use the words aloe gin as much as possible to increase our sponsorship.
And if you could please ask Tesco's to continue putting Hardee's on their club card £2 off, I'd really appreciate that. Thank you.
Or the Casillero del Diablo
That's
Cabernet
nice.
Sauvignon. That's also a very good one to have on there.
It's the only time I get to drink a wine. That costs
when
more
it's
than
on the
a
£6 offer. Yeah.
What was the wine I got you for Christmas, Carl?
Oh, I have it over here. One moment.
Oh.
It is none other than Casillero del Diablo Cabernet Sauvignon Special.
I do love the way the Diablos always look like Batman.
Yeah,
fantastic.
And it is a special.
That was not on 2 for 6.
No, I can imagine. Well, this is the Black Label version, so I'm very much saving this and looking forward to it.
Have you drank your vodka?
No, that's over there as well still. Come on, this is one of the first evenings off I've had for I don't know how long.
Vodka? What?
Having 2 wives will do that to you, Carl.
2 wives. Oh dear Lord.
We don't.
When I worked in the motor trade, I had 2 wives. Because I had my wife at home, then I had my secretary who also nagged me and refused to have sex with me. So it's...
That's a very valid point. You'll never get a Picard wine on the £6 rack.
No, but you can print your own labels, which I have
can.
done. Yeah.
I believe Alan has a very good file for that. He turns up at most conventions with his own Chateau Picard. So what's everyone wanting? So we've done Picard now. What's everyone wanting to see from Strange New Worlds season 2? Not long to go till that one. Only a couple of months.
I think I'm enjoying the most. I know everyone loves Anson Mount, and rightly so. I've urinated next to the man, but I
Do you
really
slap the
do.
toothpick?
Yeah, that's when I stabbed him with a toothpick. Yeah, at the
Yeah.
urinal. Yeah, because both hands were being used. He couldn't defend himself. But no, I'm loving Spock's character and his wife and their relationship. I'm wanting to see more Spock.
You're wanting to see the triangle going on between them and Nurse Chapel, aren't you? You want to see how that plays out. You've already seen the original series. You know that nothing comes of it, Richard. I hate to tell you this.
Oh, they can rewrite, change it, put it in a dimension, whatever.
What is it? What's your favourite thing? Never let the continuity get in the way of a good story.
Never ever let canon get in the way of a story. Ever. Mustn't.
Yeah.
I know what I want to see from Strange New Worlds, but
Well, do tell.
just this.
More of Nurse Chapel.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Fair.
I genuinely do really. She's a pretty girl, really good actress. Loving her character as well. Same with Spock's wife, T'Pring, is it? She's
T'Pring.
Again. I've often felt all the actors and actresses that get to play Vulcans get a bit of a bad rap because that must be so hard. It's the same as the ones you have to wear all the prosthetics and still get a performance across. They deserve a lot more plaudits than I think they get. I know that the actors who play Vulcans just have to put a bit of mascara on their eyebrows and put on the ears, but they're essentially acting in prosthetics because they can't show emotions, but they've got to show emotions, but not show emotions. Yeah. The only way I can describe it is
it's unreal.
It's difficult. I'm grasping here for context, so bear with me. Have you seen The League of Gentlemen?
Yes.
Have you seen the film The League of Gentlemen's Apocalypse?
No, unfortunately not.
So in the film The League of Gentlemen's Apocalypse, the actor Steve Pemberton plays a character called Hare Lip, who has to pretend to be the actor Steve Pemberton. It's brilliant. It's really good. But that's what it must be like as a Vulcan, trying to be this raging, emotional volcano, but not show any emotion all the time. It's acting, acting. It's fantastic.
I agree there. Ortegas rocks. Good. Like that one.
Yeah, I like the character. The actress, not so much. But yeah.
I have one hope, actually, with Strange New World. I hope they don't do what Enterprise did and shoehorn in another Borg connection. Do you remember when Enterprise did that?
I liked that. I thought that episode was brilliant.
That was a great double episode, that one.
It was a lovely episode. It's just like, it reminds me of the Thing.
In the Arctic, just like Captain America. Yay!
It's like the Thing with Kurt Russell. It was absolutely brilliant. I really enjoyed that. I thought it was a great episode.
What's wrong with you, Mason? You're in a minority there, I'm afraid.
Oh, behave. You like Inner Light. Your opinions ain't valid.
He doesn't like Inner Light. He likes Star Trek, and Star Trek happens to have Inner Light in it. So we all.
Oh yes, an hour of Picard learns to play recorder, a skill you never use again.
Honestly, there's nothing worse than when your little girl comes home from school clutching a recorder that's got like 1,000 tooth marks in it from all the children that have had this recorder from the 80s, and you're just thinking, oh my God, look at that biological mess. And then it puts it to its mouth and starts playing London's Burning 1,000.
Or Three Blind Mice.
You can't agree, Daddy. What fresh hell is this?
Oh dear, Dan. Nadim doesn't seem to agree with you.
Nadim's wrong.
Yeah, but Nadim likes Discovery.
Ooh. Ooh. Hey, there's certain episodes of Discovery I like. You got to remember, I tried to defend Discovery for 3 seasons.
I've not watched The Inner Light in a while, Now, I've not seen it, but I've heard there's a popular TV program called Google Box. Is this right? So,
Something along those lines.
so why don't we do a Google Box, and James and I will watch and react to The Inner Light. And well, maybe we could do it next time we're all together. We'll all watch and react to The Inner Light. It's very popular. I'm not sure why, but I'm willing. What I'm saying is, I'm willing to give it another go.
Do we? So do we have to then look at doing that with all the overrated episodes?
Code of Honor. Let's watch Code of Honor. Let's
Sub Rosa.
Google Box Code of Honor.
Should we Google Box Sub Rosa?
And no vaccine.
Should we Google Box Move Along Home?
If wishes were horses.
Oh, so many possibilities. Hang on, you're on a Voyager rewatch. Go on, drop a Voyager one in there.
Threshold.
Oh,
That's a nasty one. That's like
I did
ripping
know
off
she's a witch. She turned me into a newt, but I got better now.
What's worse than Threshold is slightly better than tearing off a plaster from your groin.
Oh dear. I think that idea's got that's got legs. That has, Sir Richard.
Well, I tell you what, we'll ask the audience what program they'd like us to. That's a really good episode. I love that episode. That's really good. That one. I like that one. But yes, if the audience really want to see us Gogglebox, Google, it's Goggle, isn't it? Gogglebox. If they want to, or is it Ogle? Ogle would make more sense. Is it Ogglebox? Oh, anyway,
we need to come up with a really good name for it, though. Can somebody trackify Gogglebox so that we can actually make like a sting and do it properly without getting sued?
And you can watch us watching an episode of your choice as long as it's Inner Light, Code of Honor, Wishes Were Horses. Basically, it's got to be a bad one, not a good one.
Yeah. So what we need off you, dear viewer, is a name for this particular segment, and also a list of episodes that we are to watch over the space of time. So,
so Linda's popped up. What group chat was I in where someone sent up the subtitled sex toy?
No, don't talk about that one. That's coming up. Well, in fact, we'll do that now.
That I'm not part of. Thank
We
the
probably
Lord.
should do it now.
let me just get the sting and everything ready for it. So,
Well, just while Dan's getting.
We do still do segments. All we seem to do tonight is talk about Star Trek. I was like,
oh dear viewers, I was browsing the interweb.
I've got a ton of stuff saved up from the sci-fi ball, but I'm not going to use it while we've got Star Trek.
Dear viewers, I was browsing the internet and I found a video. Shall we see it?
Go on.
What do we say now? Well, VT.
RBT.
Oh, yes, of course.
Right, okay. So our microphones were still live during that, so I suggest we roll the clip again, and we will do the voice. Who?
I nominate Carl to do Troy and Richard.
I think the viewers should nominate. The viewers should nominate, and we'll roll that again, and we'll do the voices for you.
In the chat, viewers, then who's doing which character? You've got 3 of us and 2 characters. So who do you want to be Troy? Who do you want to be Crusher?
Make your choose now.
Choose your choose. Do you still
Choose
have the
your
choice sting for that? It's got to be in there somewhere, surely.
Do we do
Here we
do
go.
Indiana Troy?
I forgot about the dinosaur with ballerinas.
Do we do
Yeah.
Troy's voice or do we do Marina Sirtis' voice? Okay, Dan. So Dan, you're
Dan-
Troy.
Dan, you
Okay.
are Troy.
So who's doing Crusher?
Yes, it's Cisco's not. I could do Crusher as Cisco.
Crusher
I could do
in
Crusher
Wolf-
as Cisco.
Oh my lord, this is going to be amazing. I'm going to sit back with my wine and popcorn and thoroughly enjoy this. Roll VT, gentlemen.
I'm sorry, the VT is broken.
I can fix that if you don't. Bear in mind, I also have admin privileges.
I can't see the words of the things up.
Hang on, let me get rid of... There we go. Right, go on. Roll the VT, Mr. Mason. You are Troy. And we have Cisco Stroke Crusher.
I picked up a victory from this good but
You've already got 47.
it was different. It's a candle. It's extremely arousing.
Is it ribbed?
No, I just light it. Then I just lie back. And then
Well, frankly, I'm envious.
So
So, do
they have an online shop. Group.com for this smells like my anaphonasic lava candle. It is only 500 quattros. Sorry, I stole some of your lines there. Dan, I've got tweets.
So, welcome to the UK's premier Sunday night Trek talk show.
Weren't expecting that, Trek Yards, were you?
Dear CBS, do not fire me, please.
Oh, dear Lord.
Oh, dear.
Do you think we should... Oh! News! That's actual real news.
Actual...
Actual real news. There
We
was...
do actual news.
Yeah,
We
there
had a
was...
sting and everything earlier.
There was doubters in the audience that anything was ever going to be re-announced about the new Destination Trek. Or, yeah, Destination Trek.
Which
People
is,
say, oh, well, nothing's been heard about it since Flight Forever. Well, they've released codes for the hotel now and
Ooh.
details.
excellent. Apart from the code, do we know? I'm unaware of any announcements at all that involves guests. Still waiting for my announcement. But what actors do we have that are coming?
Well, I believe there is Sir Richard of you, Sir Carl of him, Sir Me of me, and if he's out of bed, James.
Excellent.
So, what you're saying is we've finally managed to organise an internationally unrecognised Let's Talk Trek convention.
More or less.
Should we do a Let's Talk Trek live from?
Are there like 4 stages for one for each of us to take over?
Yes, you're getting the arts and crafts stage.
That's fine. I can take Kerry. She'll finally enjoy my hobby.
I'm doing the bar stage.
I'm doing the lap dancing stage.
Good shout. What's
You
James
can't
doing?
lap
Should we
dance
volunteer
for
him now?
toffee. James is doing the lawyer stage.
Oh,
Busman's holiday and all that.
well, what were the dates for the convention? Because they're at Birmingham Hilton, aren't they?
It's all going to be in the hotel, so nothing's
It
going to
is.
be in the exhibition centre.
Now-
It's all going to be
now
in
you
the
know
hotel
what?
itself.
So, do you remember a couple of years ago when we were at the Hilton for Destination Star Trek, and it was
Just
the final
sorry.
night, the Sunday?
Boo! Oh no, I mean yay. Sorry.
Well, and we were all sat in the bar. It was quite late on, and we'd had a few beverages. Well, you guys were kind of turned around and went, "My goodness, this is a big outfit. Who are these guys coming in?" Well, that was the company I work for, coming to do their yearly convention. I was back there 2 days later doing that. Well, the halls and stuff at the Hilton in Birmingham that they do the stages and conventions and things like that are actually pretty damn good. Got to be honest. You don't need to walk 5 minutes over to the NEC. The ones within the hotel are easily sufficient for what you'd need.
It's massive, yeah. It's really good.
Yeah, honestly, those halls that they do those events at in the hotel are awesome. If they set that up right, there's a lot of potential for that to be amazing.
I've got
No.
to say, sorry, Dan.
Go on.
That's one of the things about being in the hotel, and I get asked a lot, like by non-Trekkie friends and non-convention going people, like what's so special about going to the conventions, and I still said that my ultimate highlight from any convention I've been to was when James and I exited an elevator. And there was a chap. We got into the elevator, and he was wearing a William Shatner t-shirt, a William Shatner leather jacket. You know, he had a William Shatner patch, a William Shatner tattoo. He was like this big Shatner fan. And we got out the elevator, and he got in. And just as we got out, there was a shout, "Can you hold the elevator?" And William Shatner got into the elevator with this guy.
Wearing an "I Love Shatner" t-shirt.
And this guy was just like, and William Shatner turned around and said, "Hey, nice shirt." And then the elevator closed. James and I just looked at each other, just like, that's the best thing.
You can
ever.
imagine it, can't you? It's just like, hey, nice shirt.
Honestly, it was just, you should have seen the joy on this guy's face. It just made the convention. It really did. It was just wonderful. It's absolutely brilliant.
Well, I've not had confirmation yet as what we're doing, but no doubt we're involved at some point. I know that much.
I think Let's Talk Trek Live would be a winner. And so does the audience.
Well, I thought we would inaugurate. We'd make some games. I thought it might be fun to do some games with our friends. And I'm thinking, Let's Talk Trek Twister.
I've played Twist. This is
Dan,
the one
you know
do
me.
on,
I'm not the most flexible of people.
This is the one you do on the floor, isn't it?
Old now, aren't we?
No,
we are old.
We wouldn't do Twister. We'd spin the thing and watch the Trekkie girls do it.
Ah, of course. we would moderate.
Yeah. Hey, look.
For the record, Sarah, Sam, Carol, Vicky, we love you.
That's why we want to see you play Twister. Oh, come on.
I've seen Carol race up a flipping rugby field and win.
Listen, if we put it to a vote and say who would you prefer to see play Twister, the Trekkie Let's Talk Trek boys or the Trekkie girls, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, let's face it, boys, we're going to lose.
Yeah. Oh, we could play hang on, Twister's a team game, isn't it? Do you play
it's individual?
No, it's like a battle royale, isn't it? It's one.
You could have Let's Talk Trek versus the Trekkie girls at Twist.
That one I get.
The trouble is, you don't want to play Twister with Carol because you've got that sort of like, she's little and she'll be able to just get into all the places that no one else will be able to do.
I'd like to play Twister with Carol. Just saying.
According to Vicky, it can be a team game.
That's what I was hoping.
And David, you are more than welcome to wear your kilt.
Better wear your kilt. You better wear your kilt.
Anything can be a team game if you're brave enough. Right, moving on. 2 wives.
There's a lot of scope for this convention, isn't there?
Well, I'm really looking.
How good would they like us to make it?
I think at this point, if I suggested hide and seek, they'd probably say yes.
Coolio.
I'm really good at hide and seek.
That's because you're small.
I'm quite flexible. So
hang on, you're flexible and small, so you'd have an unfair advantage definitely at Twister.
Oh,
I've not played it. I've watched it on the internet, but I.
You're seriously telling me that's on your Google footprint? That worries me.
That worries you? That's okay.
That's tame.
That That's what worries me.
Well, dear viewer, our hour is up.
Crikey,
we
has it been an hour already?
Joe, we should definitely. I mean,
We should do this more often.
you guys are. I know you guys are considerably younger than me, but you must remember Nightmare, where the fire
Yes,
freezes
the
and stops.
helmet.
Yeah. But that's when the hour's up. We should have a fireplace that freezes, and then that should be our new ousting. Yeah.
Well,
I hope we've enlightened you all, and I hope you've enjoyed us talking about Star Trek for a change. Because we keep saying for a change. Now Picard's been on, we've been talking about nothing but Star Trek.
I'm obviously a bad influence. I do apologise, dear viewer.
oh, Carl,
Star Trek version of Nightmare. What?
the company you work for owns Wacky Warehouse.
Yeah,
Maybe we could invent our own version of Funhouse.
It's a whole lot of fun.
We just need
that
some
is a
coin.
whole lot of fun. I've got to be honest, I'm not sure there's many of them left, but thanks to COVID.
You say this. It was a dying concept anyway.
We know,
COVID
Nadim,
makes
some
me
of your
alcohol.
comments did pop up. We apologise for them.
Almost 100% Trek. We did get some Twister in there as well.
We'd like to just say a big thank you to Carl for not playing along with the headdress game today.
I didn't know about it until like 10 minutes before the show.
What headdress game?
Good point. What headdress game? It's what we always wear.
So this is genuinely what I have been wearing and will be wearing. This is Shop Mode Richard. Something wrong with my webcam now.
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Yeah. We could no longer see your eyes. We couldn't tell what you were looking at.
Yes. Although it's gone 10 o'clock and Mr. Amazon hasn't ordered my SSD. So
Yeah.
that particular driver won't be invited in to use the toilet.
I was gonna say, it's not coming at 10 o'clock at night. Don't be daft.
Unless he wants to float down the river. They all
Oh, yes,
float.
there was the trial version of me a little while ago, wasn't there?
They all float.
Well,
I'm glad we made it up for you, Nadim.
Yeah, really sorry about last week, Nadim, and to everyone, and especially for not telling everyone that we weren't doing one. So really sorry about that, sincerely, guys. So thanks for coming back this week. Really appreciate it.
right. Oh,
I suppose
And if
that's
you're not
that.
busy on Friday, I'm playing a gig at the Shivering Sands Tap Room in Manston. From 5 p.m. onwards, hear me and my band play The Foo Fighters, Chris Isaac, and more.
what Foo Fighters song are you doing?
Doing a couple of them, actually. Yeah. So we're doing. We'll be doing Times Like These and Learn to Fly, which surprisingly sounds really good. It's an acoustic. There's three of us doing an acoustic band. We've come up with a really good way of playing Learn to Fly acoustically. I wasn't sure we could, but we have done it. Sounds really good. So yeah.
Oh, Gary's going to try and be there.
Awesome, Gary. Look forward to seeing you, buddy.
Can you also play Breakout? That's lovely and
That
screamy.
probably wouldn't work acoustically.
it would.
I'll never say never. Never say never. But well, I share the singing with a lady called Dee Dee, who's a really talented vocalist. So we
And also, can we have Green
Right.
Day Time of Your Life, please, as well? Thank you.
that is on the list. Yeah, we're playing that one as well. Yep.
Good shout.
Yep. So yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Cool. Right. Okay. Well, I'll see everyone at my show on Friday, and then I'll see you all on this show again on Sunday.
Isn't
Looking
it
forward to it.
Easter Sunday.
It is. As much as I shall try, I can't guarantee my attendance with it being a bank holiday, but I shall certainly try.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Thank you very much. Pleasure as always.
Look after yourselves and each other.